What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is almost the end of the month. We're so close to starting March already of this year, which just blows my mind how fast this year's gone by. But you know what that means is it's time to talk about what we're going to read in March. So here's my TBR for that month. It's an exciting one. I think I'm going to have less reading time than normal, which is normally would be unfortunate, but in this case, I think it's actually a very cool thing. So I'm excited to mention that here as we go. But we're going to start by getting back into One Piece. That's right. I want to finally get back to One Piece. It's been, by the time I get back to it, probably 2 months since I read any One Piece. So it's time to dip my toe back in and see what the Straw Hats are up to. And the reason I want to get back is, I want, there's some timing issues. So I have to, pick a certain length of books to squeeze things in as I'll talk about. But the other reason, beyond just that it's been a couple months, is coming off of having read Curse of the Mistwraith, and then I had a little break. Finished the Return to Edan, then I did The God Is Not Willing, and then I did Disquiet Gods, and it's a lot of like kind of heavy reads all back to back, right? So I want something that's just a little bit lighter, shorter, fun, whatever. So, and what fits the bill better than One Piece, right? So we're gonna do some One Piece. I'm under the Thriller Bark Saga at this point, and I'm excited for that one. I'm looking forward to it. That'll be fun. I think I should knock it out in 3-4 days, something like that, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to the next read for the Red Company, the first of 2 buddy reads for the month. I am very much looking forward to this one because back in November, I think, we did our very first buddy read for the Red Company, and that was We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle. And this last time we did Aleuthian by Sam Middleton, and now, you know what, it's time to get back to The Last War. So we are doing, it's called A Fool's Hope. This is book 2 of the Last War trilogy. I don't have the physical copy with me yet. I ordered it in the mail, so it'll be here in time for me to jump into it. But man, I'm stoked for this. We Are the Dead was awesome. It was such a just fast-paced, action-packed, grimdark, heavy, violent, but also had there was enough hope in there to still carry you through the story, and it kind of made the dark element seem even darker, which I liked. That was cool. You need that light to really see how dark the darkness is, right? And vice versa. But I just thought, man, it was really well written, and there was a couple things in there. If you're curious, you can go back and watch our discussion that we did, our group discussion for the book. And there were some things about it that I had a couple little complaints with, but after our discussion, I came out of it thinking like, oh man, I think it was actually Chance who threw it out, this idea that I was like, wow, if that's how it goes, if that's what Shackle does in book 2 with this thing, that's going to change how I felt about those couple complaints and make them not complaints anymore, really, right? So I'm really looking forward to getting back to book 2. That'll be next up after One Piece. Talk about a tone shift, getting into Last War after that. But hey, that's the kind of variety I want to have on the channel, right? After that, I really have been wanting to get back to Benedict Jaka's Inheritance of Magic series. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back finally into book 2. This came out back in, October, I think. I think it was around Halloween. And I just didn't have the time to squeeze it in, which is funny because it's only about 300 pages long. And these read very, very fast. The first one did anyway. The first one did. And but look at this cover, man. I mean, it's just, that red is just gorgeous. I love the titles, and Instruction in Shadow is such a cool title. And so we'll see what we get into. That'll be up next after A Fool's Hope. And the first book was so fun, man. When I talked about that last fall, when was that? Last summer, last fall, whatever, when I read the first book, I mentioned how it gave me big Harry Potter vibes because it is, sort of this sort of urban fantasy. This kid is discovering his magical powers and sort of learning how they work and finding out the secret underground wizarding world. And, it gave me some of that Harry Potter, nostalgia, right? I liked it a lot, but it certainly was very different. I mean, you're not really going, maybe we have a magic school. I don't know where this is headed, but maybe there seemed like there was some hints of like it could potentially go there at some point, at least a form of a magic school. But maybe not a school per se, but just like joining a group of people who would then teach him how to do things. But anyway, we'll see where this goes. We have hints of a bigger mystery, a bigger plot afoot by the end of book 1, and I'm excited to get into book 2. See what happens with this. Nice, quick, easy read. This will probably, I don't know, man. half a week, 3/4, like less than a week for sure to get through this. So the reason, as I mentioned, the timing, right, is that I have a trip coming up in mid to late March that is going to take away from my reading time. I'm probably going to have, well, I don't know, maybe, maybe I'll bring a book with me, maybe an ebook or something, just for the sake of packing. But so maybe there's some reading time, I don't know, but I'm not going to count on it. I think any reading time that's there is just going to be bonus and just kind of a nice little surprise. But I am going to the ICFA conference. This is the, I can't remember what the acronym stands for now, International Conference for Fantastical in the Arts, or it's something like that. Basically, it's a fantasy conference, right? And it's a bit more academic. It's more like people give presentations. You know what I mean? Like this is a place. It's not like Worldcon. It's not like Dragonsteel. It's a academic conference, but there still is going to be a lot of fun there. What I hear, I've been talking to Janie Wirtz about this. She's the one who told me about this in the first place, this conference. And she told me about how just the amazing conversations that you get into with people there. And there's a lot of authors that go to these things. She goes every year, so I'll get to meet her in person. I'm so excited to meet Janie in person. That's just going to be incredible. But so she'll be there. Some other, like Steven Erickson goes there a lot. Ian Esselman goes there a lot. So I would love to meet those guys if they happen to be there and just talk about Malazan and, like just the opportunity to meet some authors that I very much look up to. Not just because I love their work, but also I just highly respect their craft, their mastery over the craft. And as somebody who has dabbled and wants to much more than dabble in writing, the opportunity to learn a bunch while I'm there is super, super exciting. And I'm going to be going there with my buddy Chance from the channel, Chance Dillon, who he obviously is a writer. And, so he's excited to learn there too, but also just get in there and have some fun, right? And we'll see what we get up to. I hear there's a bookstore that just has incredible deals and stuff there as well. So I'm very much excited for that. That'll be awesome. But like I said, probably going to cut into reading time, but very worth it. Worthwhile trade-off. Very much so. So we got that. I don't think I mentioned the Red Company guys when I talked about Fool's Hope, right? So Chance, Chris Beard Bookbeast, and Alex from Miss Candario. So make sure that you're checking out their channels if you have not already. When I get back from the conference, right, because I will now not have any more interruptions and I don't have to stress about timing things out anymore, right? I kind of picked some reads that I can get through a bit faster there just in case I have to pull some overtime to finish anything in time before I leave. But when I get back, things will be a little bit more chill, back to normal. And I think I'm going to be on a high in terms of wanting something a little bit denser that has a little bit more a little bit more depth, a little bit more complexity, a little bit more craftsmanship to get in there and appreciate. Plus, it's time for the read along anyway, right? You know what it is. It's Ships of Merior. Okay, so I have spoken ad nauseum about Curse of the Mistwraith, how much I just was blown away, how it's instantly, I don't know how I could make a top 10 fantasy series of all time and that it's not already on there, one book in. Like, there's no way that there's 10 other series that I like more than it. It was that impactful to me. And so book 2, I'm so unbelievably excited to get into book 2. I'm not going to say anything about where this is going or what's going on in this. Go watch our group discussion on the Talking Story channel of Curse of the Mistwraith. We had, I think, like 45 minutes of spoiler free. Then we got into some spoilers after that. So whether you've read it or not, you can go check that out and get something out of it and see if you can be sold on the series a little bit. Or go back and watch my other videos too where I talked about it. But man, Mistwraith was just incredible. This, if you're not familiar, this is both Ships of Merior and Warhost of Vastmark, right? So technically, it's one big story that was split into two for the US publisher. So it's split into two for the UK publisher. In the US, we have both stories in this one volume, but it does have a division point, right? So what Janie has said is the two books, you can read them separately, right? That it leaves off in a good spot. However, you're not going to get the big impact, the real story that she was trying to tell unless you read them together, right? That's what she said. Now, also, despite that, because of how large our read-along group is, because of, us not wanting to have 4 hours discussions on the books, it's just, we would love to, but it's just impractical for people's schedules. we decided to do just Ships of Merior for the read-along, right? And then we'll do Warhost of Vastmark next, and that would be in the, months are difficult, whenever the next one is, May, whatever, something like that. So that's the plan for the read-along. I purposely, because of the IFRA conference and because of the timing for the read-along and because the what Janny has said about trying to read these together if you can, I think what I might do is I push this to the tail end of March. It might bleed into early April. I won't be surprised if it takes me that long to get through it because I want to take my time. And so when we get together in probably sometime early mid-April, would be my guess, to discuss Ships of Merior, what I might do is just roll straight into Warhost right after that. Because I think what that's going to allow me to do is I can get to the discussion for the read-along and just have ships on mind, right? I won't have read the rest of it, so I'm not going to have to like censor myself and be super careful to not spoil the other people in the read-along group with any of the Vastmark stuff. But then after the discussion, I can just keep going so that I can still read them together and get the full impact of the story. And then I'll just wait longer to get into the next Fugitive Prince, I think would be the next one. So maybe I'll do that. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, but we shall see. I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too. So we'll see how that goes. But man, could not be more excited to have more Janny Wirtz in my life. It's going to be, we talked about January, right? But there's not a really good pun for March. But the whole second half of March for me is going to be all about Janny, right? Going to ICFA, meeting her there, hanging out with her there a little bit, having a good discussion, I'm sure. Reading the next book, maybe this whole big chunky boy, maybe all in one go. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how it works out. But man, I'm excited. Alongside these are like my big main reads, right? Alongside these, bedtime, I'm going to still keep chipping away at Cytonic, that third book in the Skyward series by Sanderson. I'm slow going on that, but I'll keep chipping away there. And then if I finish the second Darth Bane book, which I believe I don't think that's going to take super long to finish, probably early-ish March, early mid-March, then I think what I'm considering right now is probably jumping into The War Eternal by Rob J. Hayes. The first book is Along the Razor's Edge. Ever since I read God Eater that would have been last summer already. Ever since I read that, I was like, I closed the book, right? And I read the whole, the main book first, and then I read the two novellas after that. Reverse chronological order. I will die on that hill. That's the way to do it. And I finished that second, that furthest back novella in the timeline, and I was like, I need more Rob J. Hayes right now, right? And I kept putting it off, right? It's hard to make time for stuff. I had some plans, buddy reads, etc. But I think it might be time. I have the first two books in that series on ebook right now, and so I think I might go ahead and jump into The War Eternal after I wrap up the second Darth Bane book, and then I might go back and finish Bane 3, and then come back to War Eternal, kind of alternate, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. That's my tentative plan at the moment anyway, but we shall see how the muses take me as I go. So, thank you for watching. I hope you're excited for March. If you liked the video, give it that thumbs up. Talk to me in the comments. What do you got going on for March? Let me know your plans if you're a TBR person, or if you're a mood reader, if you have any early thoughts, maybe kind of throw that stuff out. Have you gotten through One Piece? Have you read The Last War? Have you read the Jacob books, or Wars of Light and Shadow, or War Eternal, any of this stuff, right? Let me know. Darth Bane. Have you read any of this stuff? What did you think? Let's keep it spoiler free as we always do here, but let me know what you think. Talk to me down there. If you like the video, you're not subscribed to the channel yet, think about maybe subscribing. It's fun to hang out here with you guys. I love it. I love meeting more of you amazing, generous, kind, loving people. You guys are awesome. And I love just meeting more of you guys and talking to more and more and just hanging out and having a good time. So let's keep the vibes rolling. Let's keep growing the channel. NLR forever. No. You know what I mean. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.